All right, Shalom Israel. First and foremost, I want to give all praises, honor, glory, and fear to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rakakwadash. Also want to give double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone who I learned this truth from, and peace and love to the Lord's hopeful elect. Back at it through the spirit and power of Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai. Going back into the mysteries, man. I'm gonna bring out some precepts on the mysteries of this thing of ours, the mysteries of Yahweh Hashem Shai. Some of the things that have been revealed unto us, and these things keep us motivated, man. And it's these mysteries that we want to be revealed unto us, which drives us, man. We talking about the planets. I mentioned the rings around some of the planets. What's that's really about? All these deep mysteries will be opened up unto us. Leviathan, okay. So let's get straight into this. This is Matthew, because that's the power we serve. Yahweh Shema Shai. You see, we've inherited these lies, and they taught us, they gave us a very, what's the word I should use? Unauthentic version of Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shai. Now that the Lord has woken that remnant up, we're understanding how he gets down, how his son gets down. We understand that the Lord executes the evil on the earth as well as the good. So we understand these things. We grow in the fear of Yahweh Shema Shai, and that leads us to understanding the operation thereof of Yahweh Shema Shai, his hopeful elect, the nation of Israel, the kingdom. Okay, we're understanding everybody else is still in a state of confusion, man. They may have a little bit of understanding here, but there they don't, because you got these false prophets and you got these prideful people that got their conscience seared with a hot iron that are remaining in the doctrine of devils. Matthew 13, and we'll start at 10. And the disciples came and said unto him, why speakest thou unto them in parables? So again, this is another account where the Lord's disciples turned apostles are inquiring. So they're asking, why are you saying these things? Why can't you just tell us, just speak regular? Because Malak Yahweh Shah was speaking in parables a lot, and he's going to answer them. And he answered and said unto them, because it is given unto you to know the mysteries of the kingdom of heaven, but to them it is not given. So there it is, man. That's why, man, the Lord is speaking the way that he's speaking, man, in parables, poetically. Is to actually throw those who this isn't for off, man. If you are one of his sheep, I'm talking about Yahweh Shai, who the world ignorantly called Jesus Christ, then you're going to be able to hear that shepherd. Everybody else can't hear him. That's a mystery. The things that we saying, we're going to get into it. But just the name Yahweh and Yahweh Shai, okay? It wasn't given to everybody. You got people of our own nation that mock and scoff at those names. Oh, you must be of the house of Saul. You must got that house of Saul spirit on you against Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai. Let's go to the book of 2nd Esdras 8 and 62. All right, and it reads, these things have I not showed unto all men, but unto thee and a few like these. So starting with, the elders and apostles of Great Millstone, the men that they learned from, that they reverence, okay? These are mysteries. These are Yapa, that means beautiful things that's being revealed unto us, because truth be told, we understand, hey, it's ugly right now. This truth is beautiful, but it's ugly, the environment that we're in. We're surrounded, walking through the valley of the shadow of death. But these mysteries, and we've only received a small portion of it, it's going to produce, we're going to be able to experience our wildest imagination, man. You know what I mean? The things that pertain to the kingdom, just receiving those new bodies. And trust me, we don't really understand right now the functionality of those bodies, man. We understand that these bodies are terrestrial, pertaining to the earth, man, and the elements that pertain to the earth, and they shall go back into the earth, the dust, man. Those new bodies, celestial, the scriptures speak about, and that pertains to the heavens. What does that mean, really, though? Okay, what does that mean? We've only been in these chains of darkness, living this mediocre lifestyle. We don't know nothing about the mysteries, the glory, the majesty that is Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shai, and we're going to get into that. But again, 2nd Ezra 8 and 62, these things have I not shown unto all men, but unto thee and a few like thee. Then answer I said, okay, Behold, O Lord, now hast thou showed me the multitude of wonders, and brothers and sisters, first and foremost, other hopeful elect, they've been receiving visions and things that pertain into the kingdom. Yeah, visions of the great tribulation, but also the kingdom, man. And I mean, I'm not going to get into that this epistle, but just search it up, especially the GMS testimonial page, man, and you'll hear some of these visions and dreams that brothers and sisters and their children have had pertaining to this unknown location. Because I say unknown because that can't be compared to what we're actually going to see, right? You know, if that's a representation of the kingdom, was it actually, you know, portions of the actual kingdom that they saw, they were blown away, okay? But that's a mystery. Okay, these are mysteries, how the kingdom is actually going to look. Yeah, we heard about the jewels, we heard about the streets of gold, but how is it actually going to look? How did he design it? Or, you know, how the city's going to be broken down? Like, are there roads? And you know what I mean? It's going to be amazing, but this is a mystery, and this is what keeps us motivated. It's actually, honestly, the fear of Yahweh Shema Shai, the understanding that we are in a transgression constantly. Okay, even us fighting for this truth, man. That's the real, you know, realization of what's going on. All right, but there's a reward for that in this kingdom. Hey, that's our reward, and everything that comes with it. The bodies that can't the new bodies that can't, you know, that can, we have to get rid of these bodies that can't function in that kingdom, man. We have to be changed right before we hit those chairs, and before we can take place in that kingdom. The Lord is going to give us the bodies that can handle, you know, the elements that pertain to the celestial and things like that. Remember, these are mysteries, man. We're only now waking up. Yeah, some brothers more than others, the apostles, the elders, yeah. But truth be told, we're from the same spiritual generation. You know what I mean? So we're all, you know, just waking up to the mysteries, to the majesty of Yahweh Shema Shah, to the glory thereof, because we have received all these benefits. We have adhered to the doctrine of devils, Esau, Edom, the rest of these heathen nations that told us our power name was this, our power name was that. He's all love. In order for us to be saved and be and go to heaven when we die, we got to say this phrase. All we got to do is believe. Matter of fact, let's go to the book of 2nd Ezra 8 and 21. Going back to, hey, we don't know, like, the majesty, the glory that is Yahweh Shema Shah. We meditate on that. We want to know. We want to, but we've heard, you know, the terror, the glory, and the terror of Yahweh Shema Shah, his throne. 2nd Ezra 8:21. Well, let's go to 20. O Lord, thou that dwellest in everlastingness. Say the Lord, you know, he has no beginning, no end. And that's what we desire, to get to a state where we can't die no more, man. Where our bodies are not subject to decaying and aging and death and sickness, man. That's the functionality of the new bodies, man. Sin will be eradicated. We need to get to those new bodies. That is the goal, man. Ultimately, you know, name salvation, code name salvation. But hey, we gotta get those new dwelling places, man. All right. Which beholdeth from above things in the heaven and in the air, whose throne is inestimable. So, I mean, that's going into the Lord's literal throne, how he looks. All right, the things that pertain to the kingdom. Scripture speak about the Lord has number. You know, he know every hair on our head by number. Okay, we are not even close to understanding or comprehending the inestimable. It says inestimable. Country, I have a hard time saying shit sometimes, but so that means, man, you can't. And remember when our brother saw the chariot, say it was big as a mountain, he couldn't see where it began, where it end. And we talking about the throne and everything that pertains to the dominions. Malak Yahweh Shah alone. We talking about Yahweh and Yahweh Shah alone, man. You can't estimate the glory that is Yahweh and what Yahweh done gave to Yahweh Shah. All right, everything is ruled over by Malak Yahweh Shah. And come on, man, we haven't even seen all the hopeful elect members yet. Woe to us try to sit here and try to estimate the Lord's throne, how it looked, the thunderings, the lightnings, man. All right. Scriptures speak about that thunders and lightnings, man, surrounding his throne, man. All power, holy, holy, all day, every day, holy, holy. The Lord got these angels, man. Then you got the elders right throwing, casting off their crowns, man, giving glory to Malak Yahweh Shah, Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shah. What we know about that? We just not waking up, man. This is something that if you endure until the end, guess what, Jake? This is what we're promising you. Hey, this is what the Lord is promising you, okay? You will be taking part of that glory and that worship, man. Everything that we touch will bow and worship us in glory, not in no vain glory. The birds, hey, brothers that had these visions, I speak about that because it motivated me. He mentioned, a unknown location, because man, the glory that is the come can't be compared to what we can even think of, man. So that's why I say an unknown location. But the brother mentioned that there was birds in the kingdom, or that unknown location, that had crowns upon their heads, man. That's what I'm talking about. That's some dumped out Israelite Jake shit. Just over the top, dumped out. Everybody got chains on, but in righteousness, Jake want to do it now with all the chains on and jewels in his mouth, and putting that shit on, as they say. Well, that's what Yahweh Hashem and Hawashai is promising your dumb black ass, so-called black and brown asses. You so-called blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans and speckled birds out there. He's promising us a city where it's dumped out, where we all fine, and you ain't got to worry about your brother having an eye on your girl, and you ain't got to worry about your girl having an eye on your brother. Well, you got to worry about, like, come on, man. Hey, you children, get out of here. Go for days, for weeks, whatever it is. You get up out of here. Go explore. You ain't got to worry about your children getting snapped up by some Epstein type dudes, or being unalive, being courted on the set in the name of a gang or some idol shit. You know what I mean? Being courted on the set. You don't have to worry about that in the kingdom, man. That is what Yahweh Bahashem and Hawashah is promising us, man. Matter of fact, let's stack that. Going back, like stacking that with what we just say, the Lord's throne is inestimable. Like his size, how he look, his beauty, you know what I mean? All that. Hey, the Lord got realms and things we have no idea about, man. Just like them damn Marvel movies, when those superheroes and they're traveling all through the universe and they're literally going through the realms. The scriptures speak about Malak Yahushua created these things, principalities, all these things, yeah, dominions, thrones, whatever it is, our dominion, our thrones, our crowns, man. Lord willing, we of that hopeful elect that will receive those things, man. Those are offices, all right, and literal thrones. Starting with a King David, the Lord's apostles, man. Everybody's getting, dominion over these clowns, man. Stick with the plan, man. Stick with the plan. Yahweh Shema Shah done taught us very well, man. All we got to do is trust in him and have a little bit of obedience about it. Now let's go to 1 Corinthians. All right, this is 1 Corinthians 2:9. You know what this is? This is a classic. It's basically what I was saying. But as it is written, man. I have not seen, and the Lord has let us see certain things, man. But the Lord is saying, I have not seen it all, or even a portion of it. You know what I mean? He just gave us enough to say, yeah, it's real. This is what it kind of can be. As you gonna trust in me, I ain't gonna show you everything right now. Do you trust in my word? Do you trust in my son? What he said, his words about this kingdom, what I done made? Let me tell you something about Yahweh Shema Shah's force. We know as just waking up, they are excited. All right, when they're boasting in something, the Lord Yahweh and Yahweh Shah has boasted in how this kingdom look, the functionality thereof, man. Say it was his good pleasure. See, we haven't experienced this side of Yahweh in a long time, buddy. The blessings, like straight up, just nothing, like can't nobody effort us blessing. Been a long time, but the Lord not a man that he shall lie. If he said if it is his good pleasure, all right, to give us this kingdom, then he's proud of what he's created. He's a proud of, the glory that is his kingdom. These street, man, they've have, when Malak Yahweh Shah was on the earth, what was it? You're a carpenter, man. The Lord deal with perfection, numbers, measurements, everything has been, perfected to the T, man. We ain't never seen no perfection. We've seen little cities here and there. Miami be lit up at night. It looks pretty good. The ATL at night. Most of these cities in Babylon are great, especially at night. If you just fast enough, it look kind of fly. All the lights and the skyscrapers, could go up in there in the daytime though, and smell some of these cities. Go right to Atlanta, in the day, and see how raggedy, and see if you can still smell the crack from the 80s in Atlanta. Know what I mean, same thing with ragged ass New York. Rats everywhere, size of footballs. Boy, we done seen it. I seen documentary. Boy, it's going down in New York, man. They got and you boy, they got to burn that place down. Ain't no coming back from all them rats down in them stores and underground and coming out, popping out, stealing pizza slices in the middle of the day. It's a disgusting place from the old school, man. You know, Atlanta is more of a newer city than it is New York. You know what I mean? It didn't really start getting built up to like the 70s, man. You know what I mean? New York been kind of doing the skyscraper things, man. So it's just a lot of old spirits harboring around New York. Then LA, you heard that. I shit, Lord, let me go to California last year. I didn't go to LA though. But you know, they say that place stink. The smog is ridiculous out there, man. You can't breathe. The homelessness. It's the same thing in Atlanta though, man. It's homelessness running rampant in Babylon and Great. But they talking about this supposed to be the land of milk and honey or freedom of opportunity. These are lies. All right, but back to First Corinthians 2 and verse 9. But as it is written, I have not seen nor ear heard, neither have entered into the heart of man. So yeah, remember what I said. These are things that the Lord has let enter. The things that I'm mentioning, the crowns upon the heads of those birds. Another brother mentioned shit, he was flying and he seen two females, Israelite females, and he was a decent distance away, and he said he could hear them like talking and kind of like giggling from a long distance away, man. Hey, that's the type of power, man, that's awaiting the Lord's hopeful elect, even with the women, man. You know, the kingdom gonna be perfect, but outside the kingdom where the other heathens is nation, I'm talking about, don't think it strange to put the Lord in a box for you elect women out there. It's gonna be some power bestowed upon you. Oh, you go to the place where these dirty ass heathens at in their captivity, and let's say there's a flower that's not blooming to its full strength. The woman in that day, with your feminine essence, that flower, you be able to speak to it or touch it and watch it bloom right there. That's the type of stuff that's waiting on, you know, those that fear the Lord and love him, man. All right. But again, I can't even think. That's what I can think of, buddy. That's exciting. That's motivating, because I can't even, the Lord telling he's not even going to let us think about his glory. You need to figure this shit out first. You need to deal with your transgression. You need to deal with the disappointment I have towards my children for hey, especially you men, us men. The Lord highly disappointed us for being compromised about this woman. A whole, we done let a whole, literally a whole, or orifice, man, completely destroy our nation. Let's just keep it real. What the scriptures say about the beginning of sin? Who did it? The woman. Through her we all die. Now we understand it. We get it now. And we're pushing the line, man. We pushing the line. And we saying it's going to get ugly, and we're coming with the balance, but it's going to get beautiful. First, it got to get ugly via the tribulation, the mark of the beast, the World War III, third woe. And then it's going to get very, very, very nice for the ones that endure to the end, both male and female alike. There's some glory coming for you females that's holding it down. And be honest, you predestined to do so. Romans 8 and 29. Okay. Let's go. Let's go to the book of John. Let's get some of these stumbling blocks. Remember, these mysteries and things were given to us. Not everybody else, even the ones that look like us of our own nation, they still calling upon an idol. We done taught them what it is. John 4:22. You worship ye know not what. Yahweh by Shema Shai. You don't even know the name of the Lord. You're done from there. Do we need to talk about anything else? All the other idols that y'all are worshiping that don't exist? You worship ye know not what. You don't understand the law, statutes, commandments. You 2/3 because y'all say it's done away with. You don't know what's going on. Whose fault is that? Let you tell it. It's your own. Because let you tell it, you're in control of your own life. So you're making your own decision. We know man's goings are of the Lord. Is the Lord has chose who he want and who he didn't want. It's a harsh reality if you have inherited these lies, man. If you have a receptive spirit towards the Lord, oh, it's a realization. Oh, everybody not gonna make it. Oh, this isn't for everybody. See, the Lord hopeful elect was very receptive to that soon as they heard it. Maybe some more than others. You know, it may took a brother maybe a couple times of hearing it. Okay, and then he finally got it. Repetition. That's why we do this through the spirit of power. Yahweh Hashem Shai. We know what we worship. Yeah, Yahweh and Yahweh Shai, man. All right. For salvation is of the Jews, the real ones. What did the Lord say about some imposters on the earth? They that be of the synagogue of Satan, that say that they're Jews and are not. So look upon the earth. There's some people saying that they are Jews and are not. For we just now waking up. What, the 70s basically? 60, 70, Abba Vivens. So come on, man. Before that, it's been they were saying that they was the children of of God and Jeebus. You know what I'm saying? And it's come to find out that ain't true. That ain't true. Let's go to the book of Proverbs. More stumbling blocks, right? Proverbs 1 and 6. To understand a proverb and the interpretation, the words of the wise, and here's the point, in their dark sayings. Remember, some of the things that we speak, you hear about the kingdom and our people like that. They receptive to that. They like the good things, man. Scriptures speak about our people would rather us prophesy deceits. They want to hear smooth things. They rather hear prosperity gospel. They want to be motivated to stay here. When we start talking about Jacob's trouble, a famine of food, all right, more pestilence like this earth has never seen before, chaos in the streets or race riots, okay, and ultimately the MOTB, the World War III, those are dark sayings. Our people don't like that. This is the mysteries that the Lord has given unto us, is the strength to boldly stand knowing that there's about to be nonstop death chaos around us, man. These are dark sayings where 2/3, the heathen nations, everybody that isn't of this thing of ours, they can't receive. So to them, it's a dark saying, and they're going to remain in their dark state. See, we're the light of the earth, man. We're the light of the world. And the Lord is not hiding us, and we're boldly professing all these things unto these people. First and foremost to our people, the 1/3, then to the 2/3, okay? Then to everybody else, man, condemning them, telling them who they are, what they have done, the atrocities that they have committed against the children of Israel. Hell, you Elamites, you Moabites, you Hamites, all of y'all have taken part in oppressing the children of Yahweh Shema Shah, the true ones, man, not those fake imposters, and y'all are doing it to this very day. And there's going to be a recompense for that. Those are dark sayings. They rather for us to say, you know what? Yeah, the children of Israel were oppressed, but we just want to say it wasn't us. We didn't have nothing to do with it. I didn't, Edom might say that all the time here. Oh, I didn't have nothing to do with my great grandparents having slaves and shit like that. It's too much of a dark saying for them to have that accountability. They don't understand that the Lord will repay you and your family, and that he'll get you generation through generation through generation. They don't understand reincarnation. I just saw the video about that. I never even cared about, that Captain to whatever his name is, Captain T, and him on that panel with those other dudes in Sinetta. I'm listening to Sinetta eat them up, going into just stuff that we should know, man. Like, come on, man. He was mentioning the question that every child has, man. Why do children come out if the Lord is all love, man? Come on, man. First and foremost, the Lord isn't all love. He's the one. Come on, man. And immediately we know why. You're going back into reincarnation. And truth be told, it has to be, because if it wasn't reincarnation, then the Lord, for the most part, other than the generations, like the generational curses on family members, then the Lord would be unrighteous if he did make a baby come out with no arms and things like that. We understand reincarnation, buddy. I'm not getting into that in this lesson. All right, but those are dark sayings, reincarnation, and the fact that their reincarnation, some of you guys were wicked in your past lives, and you wicked now, and the Lord punished you, man. I've been seeing a lot of that. Look at the little people. Look at the people who have very distorted faces. Look at motherfuckers who don't have arms and things like that. That is judgment from Yahweh Hashem Al Shah. They didn't teach us that. Now we understand it now. It ain't gonna do nothing but for us but promote more fear, so that nothing like that ever happens to us, our families again, man. We want out. 2/3, they okay with that. Matter of fact, maybe I'll do a lesson later today about the pride that's on these people who have these fucking ailments, man. I'm talking about there's this one little person that's driving me crazy. She looks good in the face, I guess. I'm not really, she's a little person, and she is just prideful as all get out. And I might do a epistle on her, man. And I'm watching. It was last night. I saw this for face value Israelite chick. And I was just joking because one, I did see a long time ago, there was this disease that this person, I don't know if they were in India, but they was basically turned into a tree. Look it up. Like, they had a disease. It was like, it looked like at least tree bark. I'm not even joking. The video that I saw today or yesterday was an Israelite woman, and she looked like half of her face looked like it was burnt off, and it was like hairy. It looked like she was turned into a monkey. What do you think Eve was doing on the camera? Just as prideful, like nothing's wrong with her. See what Eve be doing in her imperfection, her stench too. Cardi B did that. It's plenty of dudes that was saying, "Oh, she stink." And no, niggas don't be made. Sometimes Jake be acting ignorant here, but for the most part, Jake don't be making shit up like that about you stink. All right, but what Eve will do is she'll try to beat that judgment to the punch. She'll try to beat the shame to the punch. She'll try to beat us to the punch by getting on camera and just saying it. Oh, if I just say my coochie stink, then can't nobody give me no shame about it. Just like that girl that was turning into a monkey. That's what it looked like. You know, she was doing her makeup, right? And having a very haughty, prideful look at that. You know what I mean? Just, ooh, like I'm just the baddest thing on earth. You're literally turning into a monkey. That's the pride on our people, okay? But again, they err not knowing the scriptures, man, and they'll cause a person, they'll see that and not understand reincarnation, that this person was wicked, and the Lord is not to be played with, and the Lord is not to be mocked. The Lord is to be feared. That's the fear. You don't want to come back. You don't want your children come back looking like turning into monkeys or coming back with no arms. Okay, shit. And a lot of time the punishment fit the crime with Yahweh Shema Shah. Maybe you chopped off some Israelite, like, you know, some. Oh, look at that dude. What's his name in that wheelchair? What's his name? That Hawkins, the Hawkins dude, Steven, was it the Hawkins dude, man? I forgot, but the dude in the wheelchair, he's all effed up, the white Edomite with the brilliant brain. What's his name? It's Hawkins, right? I think. Damn, I forgot that dude's name. But y'all know what I'm talking about. I seen it before. I don't know what ended up happening to him, but he was a regular dude at first. You know, very brilliant. And then somehow, somewhere, I think he had some type of disease that had the Lord put upon him. And he's been in that wheelchair slumped over, leaning, and for a long time, man. You know what I mean? Reincarnation. Maybe you did something to the Israelites, man, in your day, in your past life, man, that made them look like that, man. All right. You ain't got no arms. You probably fed an Israelite to an alligator. Okay, things like that. That's the wrath of Yahweh Shema Shah. That's the understanding that we're developing in this thing of ours, man. And it leads us not to be bugged out. It leads us to be more receptive to what the Lord is doing, because we're coming into a time where there's going to be a lot of peculiar things happening that we're not going to be able to explain, and we're going to have our faith and trust in Yahweh Shema Shah. I'm talking about those peculiar things on the left hand side, the judgments, the plagues of ancient Egypt coming back, upon this earth, upon this sinful kingdom, man. The nuclear missiles being shot off. All these are peculiar judgments, man. We got to trust in Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shah and not be like the 2/3 that just want to hear prosperity gospel. They not going to make it. And then, of course, I could bring this out. Y'all know the classic. Why not? Amos 3 and 6. Shall a trumpet be blown in the city, and the people not be afraid? We hope they are afraid, because their trumpet is being blown. Shall there be evil in the city, and the Lord have not done it? Surely the Lord God, Yahweh Bashem Yahushua, will do nothing, but he revealeth his secret unto his servants the prophets. Now we understand again the name Yahweh Bashem Yahushua, the Israelites, the breakdown of the tribes, the events preceding the Lord's second coming, Jacob's trouble, the judgment thereof. We understand it now. Why? Because the Lord have revealeth his secret unto his servants the prophets. Look at all these pretenders that claim themselves to been pastors and shit. They had no idea about no Esau Edom, who he was on the earth today. Stop playing. Maybe some of those scholars did, that's hiding the truth, but especially our people, they had no idea about the historical account of Jacob and Esau and the significance thereof this very day. They have no idea. They started in the book of Matthew and then started winking it from there. Hey, okay. Check this one out. The book of Job. Remember, these are some of the mysteries that have been revealed unto us. Check this mystery out that has been revealed unto us. Job 9 and 24. The earth is given into the hand of the wicked. He covereth the faces of the judges thereof. And really, man, we supposed to be the judges, man. He didn't hit us by taking away our heritage, beating it out of us, calling us a bunch of bywords and things like that, and giving his image as supposed to be God and the Savior, the Messiah, Hamashiach. put his image in all the books, and gave us little angel white babies and things like that. Come on, the earth is given into the hand of the so-called white man. He covereth the faces of the judges thereof. The scripture is going to tell you, if it ain't this guy, where and who is this guy that the earth is given, that the wicked, all right, that the earth is given into? It got to be Esau Edom, the so-called white man, and it's being exposed. This was a mystery until it was revealed unto the Lord's servants, the prophets. Now we know who the Hamites are, all right, so-called Africans. Now we know who the Elamites are, all right, the Indians. The so-called white man, Esau Edom, who we are, the so-called black, Latino, Native American, and speckled bird Israelites that coming in that true spirit of an Israelite. Now we get it. Now these things will reveal unto the Lord's servants, the prophets, man. But again, this whole who the wicked is, man. Now we know. An unlearned individual will say that's the devil, and be thinking about some creature with horns, all right, and a pitchfork, ruling underground. Stuff like that. The movie Hellboy, stuff like that. That's truly what an unlearned individual would think that this is talking about when it says the earth was given into the hand of the wicked. If they even can, get that far with the thought process. Okay. Let's go to the book of Jeremiah 23. Nope. Jeremiah 10:2. Thus saith the Lord, learn not the way of the heathen. So all these heathen customs, man, hey, we went dreadlocks, man, shit like that. Pagan holidays, what we finna go into. Thus saith the Lord, learn not the way of the heathen, how they talk, their doctrines, none of that. And be not dismayed at the signs of heaven, for the heathen are dismayed at them. The chariots, they're dismayed at that, man. Okay. For the customs of the people are vain. These vain holidays, Mother's Day, so-called Christmas, Halloween, all these things, 4th of July, these are vain customs. We have our own holy days, man, our own celebratorial days. For one cutteth a tree out of the forest, the work of the hands of the workman with an axe. So this is going into like the spirit that the people have upon them when we talk about so-called Christmas and Christmas tree. All right, the Lord been aware of this because the people have always been in this shit, and the 2/3 have always took heed to idolatry. All right, so you go out, what they taught us in Babylon the Great, especially those movies, man. I'm talking about back to the 80s, when Christmas was cracking here in Babylon the Great, man. What's that? A Christmas Story, the Charlie Brown stuff. They had this pagan shit cracking, okay? And they taught, through we, as so-called black people, boy, we ain't never went out and chopped down no tree. We did, however, get those artificial ones, you know what I mean? But the so-called white people, especially, they got money and got big old houses. They would put these images into us that they would go out and get an axe or go to a place where they selling it and get a pine tree or whatever, man, and get it and bring it in their house. In verse 4. They deck it with silver and with gold, just like now the Christmas lights and the ornaments that they put on the Christmas tree in the name of an idol. That's what the Lord is going into here. All right, this have been revealed to us. Our people didn't know that Christmas was a pagan ass holiday. They thought it was the Lord's birthday and shit like that. These things have been revealed unto us. Okay, you see what I'm saying? They deck it with silver and gold. They fasten it with nails, and with hammers they move it not, man. Yeah, man. They shit. And it's not just going into a literal Christmas tree. It's all the idols that the people put up in worship. You know what I mean? Candles that they light in the name of an idol. Prayers and things that they say in the name of an idol. The Lord is just really telling us what it is. Don't be like that. He commanded us. The Lord said he was a jealous power. Again, that whole Christmas tree and the fact that this isn't Yahweh's birthday. There's no mention of when he was actually born. He probably was born in the hotter months than the cold. Not getting into that. Stumbling block, huge stumbling block. And then you tell a so-called believer or Christian not to celebrate that. They know not to celebrate Halloween, because it's obviously wicked. It's obviously ghouls and goblins and demons and shit running around. But they'll blatantly do Christmas plays and shit. I've seen it with my own eyes, man. They'll denounce Halloween because it's obvious, it's demonic, but they'll do Christmas plays and reenact, Yahweh Shai, man. Everything he went through. It never stops. But these things have been revealed unto us through the spirit and power of Yahweh Shema Shai. Now we know not to celebrate Christmas. Now we know not to make mention of these gods, man. And if we do, we're going to be in danger of judgment of Yahweh Shema Shai. Romans, more stumbling blocks. That the Lord, contrary to popular belief, you don't get to pick to serve the Lord. Real quick, Romans 8:29, one of my favorites. For whom he did foreknow, that means to know before, he also did predestinate to be conformed to the image of his son. So it's talking about Yahweh and his son, Yahweh Shai, who he begot. All right. And so he's saying he foreknew and predestined those to come under Malak Yahweh Shai. Okay. That he might be the firstborn among many brethren. And we pray to be of those first fruits, Yahweh Shai being the first of the first fruits of Yahweh. Okay, and what he want and his will and his perfection. All right, Yahweh is the power under Malak Yahweh Shai is the power under Yahweh. Moreover, whom he did predestinate. So these same ones that he already chose before, then he also called. So we're in that calling, man. And give diligence to make that calling and election sure. So we think, that the Lord has given us a portion of who we are. He given us our names, whether he gonna give us new names, that pertain to the perfection, whether he gave us these names that, on earth. I'm talking about the Hebrew names, the Lord through a brother gave me the name Sakar. It means to observe. It's so befitting because that's what I do. I be scoping, I got PTSD from the military. The brother saw me, when I was on the other side, just scoping stuff out all the time. And the Lord gave the spirit, upon that brother, give me that name. Okay, so but we're starting to remember, who we are, and it says, in whom he called them, he also justified. So we'll see that justification here pretty soon when the enemy come in like a madman, sparing none, and the Lord lift up that standard. Ultimately, we'll see that justification as a whole when the hopeful elect beamed up, and then can't come back down to wreak havoc on this guy, man. We're gonna wreak havoc on this guy, man. And we say guy, I'm referring to the whole earth as guy, but definitely Esau, Edom. You know what I mean? Gonna execute judgment on this guy, man, this raggedy guy, man. In whom he justified them, he also glorified. Boy, we ain't seen that glorification yet. That's what we fighting for, those new bodies and everything that come with it. The way that they smell, the sweet savor. We ain't got to have to put on cologne, man. And have you noticed about the earth that odors linger more than fragrances? We gotta get out of here, man. You gotta spend all this money on this cologne. They be charging an arm and a leg for the cologne. Elam and Esau hoarding the cologne, and you just got to keep spraying it through the day because it dissipates so fast. But let it be an odor. Let you not take your trash out and see if that thing don't fill your whole house up, man. And until you take it out, it's gonna be there, man. That's like the bacteria thereof is stronger. You know what I mean? It ain't gonna be. It's gonna be the exact opposite, man. Ain't gonna be no like odor causing bacteria in the kingdom, my boy. Ak was mentioning about that. There's certain smells, man, that just do something to your subconscious, man. Just smell. Let's take Disney World or Disneyland for you brothers that was fortunate enough to see it. I was through the spirit and power Yahweh Shema Shai via the parents that the Lord gave me. They pump smells of cookies and baked goods all throughout Disneyland. It do something to your psyche. Just like the sweet savor that the Lord, like when we were doing the sacrifices, the smell of barbecue that do something to you, right? Especially black folks, but all humans, man. You smell good cooking food, good smelling food. It do something. It puts you in the spirit of jolly, mirth, happiness. You know that you're getting ready to enjoy something, or just smelling it. Even it, like you may be in your neighborhood, is somebody in your neighborhood is barbecuing. Oh shit, it brings back memories of family reunions and cookout the motherfucking 90s, right? Hey, them days is over with. Them days is over with. Okay, but the whole point, man, the spirit like the wind. We got to get to that glorification. We have not made it yet. We have to endure until the end. We have to endure temptation or the hour thereof, the MOTB. But the Lord has prepared us and trained us for these things. So, but back to the point, people think they can come to the Lord any kind of way. Oh, I found the Lord. No, the scriptures is telling us different. That's Romans 8:29 here. Let me stack that just to hammer the point down, man. Jeremiah, let's see here. Where is it at? Jeremiah 1:5. Straight to the point. Before I formed thee in the belly, I knew thee. That's going back into the reincarnation. So the Lord is reiterating that, hey, thee a, and I'm gonna bring that out after this. But before I formed thee in the belly, I knew thee, and before thou camest forth out of the womb, I sanctified thee and ordained thee a prophet unto the nation. So we spring that out. The spirit. Oh, I'm finna bring it out after this. I gotta get my charger. So okay, I got my charger. Salakia. All right, again, Jeremiah 1:5. Before I formed thee in the belly, I knew thee, and before thou camest forth out of the womb, I sanctified thee. So that's what that panel was with Sinetta and that Captain T dude. They were going into that, and Sinetta actually ended up bringing that out, and he was cutting Captain T. I mean, because he was winging it, man, and he was absolutely right, man. He was going into, because Sinetta asked the question, why do people come out effed up? And then he brought it out. Shit, the Lord did it. The Lord did it. He, you know what I mean? Before you was put in your mother's womb, man, you were already predestined. If the spirit of the subjects are the prophets subject to the prophets, also meaning the spirit of the mockers, the scoffers, the spirit of the ones that's against the Lord. That's how the Lord rocks. See, that was a mystery. We didn't understand reincarnation. We didn't know the Lord give you back to your same lot at that. Now we understand it. So everybody that's coming against the prophets, against Yahweh Shema Shai, hey, they're coming back in their lot, man. Everybody has been here before that's here now. Remember when the Lord was talking to his men, he was talking to them. Some of you shall not, taste death, things like that. Well, he had to been talking to them and had to have the understanding of reincarnation, that they will be back on the earth in the last days. And that's what we're experiencing, man. Everybody's coming back in their lot, man. And it was never a lot of people that serve Yahweh Shema Hawashah. Look at history. It was always a small number, a small remnant. That's how the Lord, chose. That's how he rocks, man. He always uses the small, the meek to glorify him. That's just how he rocks, man. And I wanted to I'll bring it out. 1 Corinthians, what I was just saying about the prophets, of 1 Corinthians 14:32. And it reads, as the spirits of the prophets are subject to the prophets, man. There it is, man. Straight to the point, man. And the spirit of the prophets are subject to the prophet. Straight to the point. Meaning, if you're a prophet before, see, first and foremost, if you don't have the understanding of reincarnation, this is a huge stumbling block unto you. You're going to mock at these men. You're not going to reverence them. You're not going to see their potential. Because you're looking at them carnally. You're seeing them in their imperfections, man. But truth be told, this thing is about, this is spiritual, not carnal. And the Lord taught us, man, a carnal mind is against Yahweh Shema Hawashah. It can't be subject to the law. So everybody that's against this thing of ours is moving carnally. The 2/3 are moving carnally, and they're against the law. They're against Yahweh Shema Hawashah. And the Lord is going to execute judgment about that. All we're doing is warning our people that the judgment, you don't want no part in it. It's gonna be bad. And if you don't want to be judged and receive the pain and the suffering accompanied with that judgment, hey, fear Yahweh Hashem Hawashah, feed the sheep, keep the law. All these things we do to show that we love the Lord and that we fear him. Okay. I'll bring a few more. So many. Let's go to first. Man. Ecclesiastes. Ecclesiastes 12:14, and it reads, for Yahweh shall bring every work into judgment with every secret thing. And the Lord is exposing. All right, so you wonder why we even heard the word Illuminati. Okay, you wonder why, these conspiracy theories or the truth surrounding the music industry or Hollywood, period. That's the Lord revealing every secret thing. Look at your boy P. Diddy. It all came to the light, man, whether it be good or whether it be evil. So the Lord, the things that we do in secret, in the privacy of our dwelling place. Now the people see that type of work when we're out on the highways and byways and doing these epistles, but there's things that we do that the brothers and sisters will never see. Hey, the Lord is see those things, and he's going to reward those that diligently seek him, the ones fasting, praying in the privacy of their dwelling places, man, where nobody's really seeing it, on the camera. The Lord sees those things along with the wicked. He sees Eve committing adultery. He sees all the unaliveds. He remember all those murders of the so-called black and brown people that got swept under the rug throughout the generations here in the USA, man. All that bloodshed, and the Spirit been on me to kind of, because I really don't deal with it a lot, but I'm starting to revisit the wickedness of Esau Edom. You know what I'm saying? And his bloodshed towards the children of Israel. I went and watched a couple documentaries just on some of the I watched one on the gas chamber, the electric chair, just being in the spirit of dealing with the persecution that's coming, man. Boy. I watched the documentary on the first electric chair, how it got made. Boy, that first subject went through it, didn't he? Boy. But that's why we got to come in the fear of the Lord, because that persecution is coming, and the Lord has revealed his secret unto his servants, the prophets. Yeah, serve me, and there's good that's going to come at the end. But these folks is crazy. If they hated me, I'm talking about Malachi, I was shot. If they hated the king, how much more us, man? They don't care about little old us, our little black selves, our little malnourished selves. All right. So we got to trust in Yahweh Hashem Hawashah, and trust in these mysteries that the Lord has revealed unto his secrets, the servants, the prophets, and execute. Remember, we got to be doers of the word, not just hearers. So if we do that, man, we'll be just fine. So, I pray this was edifying, motivating. It's so many. Maybe I'll do another part, but it's so many precepts on the mysteries and the majesty and the glory that is Yahweh Shema Shah, the things to come. But if we meditate on these things, it'll keep us motivated, it'll keep us balanced. We got to deal with the persecution daily. We need to meditate on that daily, because it'll keep us fearful and keep us performing at a high level, edifying daily. Hell, we had to the point brothers is on fire. Like all brothers is making daily epistles to the best of their ability. You know what I mean? And that's good. We don't do this to like to meet quotas and shit like that. We just try to be sincere and just show the Lord that we mean business. So with that, I want to give all praises, honor, glory, and fear to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shah. Till next time, Shalom.